All right, we talk a lot about AI that can build amazing things, right? But what about AI that's designed to break things? That's what we're digging into today. Offensive AI. This is where the script flips and algorithms become weapons, data becomes ammo, and a whole new digital arms race is heating up.
And let's just kick things off with this quote because it really says it all. We got some and we hacked them. This comes from an investigation into those flock safety cameras. You know, the AI license plate readers that are popping up everywhere? It's a pretty stark reminder that the same tech that's watching us, well, it can be turned on its head.
So that begs the question, right? How difficult is it really to take one of these public surveillance cameras and make it your own little spy tool? You'd probably guess it involves some super complex, Hollywood style hacking. But the reality? Well, researchers found it was kind of shockingly easy. All you needed was to get your hands on it and know which buttons to press.
And I mean, the process is almost laughably simple. You just walk up to the camera, press a button in a specific sequence, and boom, it opens up its own little wireless access point. You connect to that, send a single command, and just like that, you have full shell access. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, that's the keys to the kingdom. You have total control. You basically own that camera now.
Okay, but here's the thing. This isn't just about one camera with one dumb flaw. This is a pattern, a repeatable recipe. It's a page out of a much, much bigger playbook that attackers are using to turn AI against the very people it's supposed to serve. So let's talk about that playbook. It actually has a name, and it's a term you're going to be hearing a lot more about in cybersecurity. It's an entire field of study dedicated to one thing: finding and exploiting the blind spots in how AI models actually think and see the world.
And that field is called adversarial machine learning. The best way to think about it is like it's the art of gaslighting an AI. You're not breaking down a firewall in the old school sense. No, you're messing with the AI's head. You're hacking its perception to make it see things that aren't there, or maybe get it to spill secrets it's supposed to keep locked up tight. This whole field really breaks down into four main tactics. First up, you've got evasion. Think of this like an invisibility cloak for data. You're just trying to trick the model right at the moment it's making a decision. Then there's poisoning, which is way more sinister. This is where you sneak bad data into the AI's training diet, basically teaching it a hidden vulnerability from day one. And finally, you have extraction and inversion. These are basically two flavors of high-tech robbery. You're either stealing the AI's secret recipe or you're forcing it to cough up the private data it learned from. So if that's the playbook, what's the fuel for the fire? Well, for a lot of these attacks, especially things like data poisoning or another nasty one called credential stuffing, that's where hackers take old usernames and passwords and just try them everywhere, the fuel is data. Your data. And not just a little bit of it. We're talking about mind-boggling amounts scraped together from every data breach you've ever heard of. I mean, just look at this number. Almost 2 billion. And that's not the total number of stolen accounts out there. No, that's the number of unique email addresses from one single list used for credential stuffing. One. It's just staggering. All of those accounts scraped from who knows how many breaches, all bundled up and ready for attackers to use. And if you're thinking, oh, that's probably all just old, junk data, well, think again. This quote here really brings it home. It's from a person who checked their email on a breach notification site and found it on a list right next to a password they were still actively using. This isn't ancient history. This is live ammunition, and it's what's fueling the attacks happening right now. So this is the key takeaway here. Your data isn't just stolen anymore. It's weaponized. The breach is just step one. After that, these gigantic databases of stolen info are plugged into automated AI-driven attack engines. These things then just hammer away, 24/7, trying your leaked password on every website imaginable, just waiting for a hit. They're looking for that one key that unlocks everything. But the game is changing. The attacks are getting smarter, more subtle. We're moving beyond just brute forcing logins with stolen data. Now, the most sophisticated attackers are targeting the very logic of the AI itself. They're finding these strange, elegant, almost poetic backdoors to get around the AI's most basic rules. This new technique has a name: LLM jailbreaking, and it's exactly what it sounds like. You're not trying to find a bug in the code. You're trying to break the AI out of its virtual prison of rules. The whole point is to come up with the perfect prompt, a kind of magic phrase that tricks the AI into completely ignoring its own safety programming and telling you things it's absolutely not supposed to. So, what's the secret to this magic phrase? How do you jailbreak a multi-billion-dollar AI model? Get this, you write it a poem. No, I'm not kidding. It sounds completely insane, but researchers found that if you hide a malicious request inside the structure of a poem, with rhymes and meter and all that, it can sail right past the safety filters on some of the most advanced AI models out there. And look at how well it works. It's just wild. This chart shows the success rate for these jailbreak attempts. A normal prompt written in regular sentences might work, 5, maybe 10% of the time if you're lucky, but the poetic prompts, they blow the doors off, with the success rate jumping to over 60%. It's a massive, fundamental vulnerability, and the key to exploiting it, of all things, is poetry. So when you put all of this together, from simple camera hacks to poetic jailbreaks, a pretty clear picture starts to emerge. We are in the middle of a brand new kind of arms race. For every clever new attack that's discovered, an even cleverer defense has to be built. This is the new AI battlefield.
But here's the good news. It's not a one-sided fight. Not at all. As the threats have gotten more advanced, so have the defenses. There's a whole new industry of companies, many of them working with governments and intelligence agencies, and they're building incredibly powerful AI platforms designed specifically to fight fire with fire. And one of the biggest names on the defensive side of this field is a company called Palantir. You might have heard of them. They're pretty well known for their, let's say, secretive work with defense and intelligence groups. At its core, what they do is build these massive platforms that can chew through unbelievable amounts of data to spot threats as they're happening.
And their tools are designed to counter exactly the kind of threats we've been talking about. So something like their Gotham platform could be used to connect the dots and find the source of a giant data breach. Then you got their newer stuff, like AIP, which is built to fight back at machine speed. It's designed to stop those automated AI-powered credential stuffing attacks in their tracks, in real time.
Which, of course, brings us to the big, looming question. It's a classic arms race, right? Attackers get more creative, defenders build higher walls, and the whole cycle just spins faster and faster. The AI on both sides is getting smarter, the stakes keep getting higher, and it really makes you wonder, in this new AI arms race, are any of us really prepared for what comes next?